Hi everyone, it's Norman Kochnick here on Eyes on Cricket. As you can see on my hat, Eyes on Cricket, Norman Kochnick. I've just been looking up some bit about Winifred Durasam. She player of the match. It seems looks like as Malaysia looks like they're going to be very close to getting a Guernsey in the Asia Cup, which is great. The qualifiers. Mosen, hello Mosen.
Hey Norman, how are you?
Very well indeed. Just been looking at. So we've got a big match today, haven't we? Well, I think. I mean, in terms of, England's won the series, but still, I love watching Test cricket. I miss it, don't you?
Absolutely. There's nothing better. English summer, Test cricket, up late night, in cold night.
Exactly. Well, I prefer to be there. Look, as
I
said, my mother's passed. It is a very sad time, but at the same time,
Yep.
I have a sense of of life again in a way, and I'm going to make sure I use it best. I'm going to do some commentary work in India with a bit of luck.
Yeah.
A few people have asked me to, but more importantly, I'm going to go to cricket. I'm going to go and travel, and probably too late to hit the England summer just yet. But I've got a few things to do here. But I will be making an effort for sure.
That's good, and that's the way I think you would enjoy. That's what you want to do, and I'm sure, in a good times, your mum would have loved to see from the heavens that you're back in cricket grounds. So yeah, best wishes.
Hopefully, seeing you involved with some major countries over time. Have you heard anything? Nothing?
No, nothing yet. No, nothing yet. So
Not over yet.
No.
All right, today. So England play New Zealand. England must be extremely buoyant. They're calling it the Baz form, or they've got a bash. Sorry, have you seen? There's all these terms coming out.
Yeah.
Baz ball.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, Ben Stokes. Honestly, a recipe for success if you got him captaining a side, surely.
Yeah.
With of course the likes. Am I a cricket reporter? I guess you could call me that. To me, I'm just telling you, Mosen, in the future, when I get a bit of sponsorship, which I'm in the process of doing now, I'm going to go to India and I'll get sponsors. I'll get you involved, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll hit with not only just Pakistan, but also anywhere, really. I don't believe there's any limitations at all. And I truly think that your point of view is very, very impressive. And people will like you no matter whether you are not Indian or whether you're Pakistan. It won't be relevant. I think that's almost like we've moved on from that. You get the occasional comment, but generally that doesn't become relevant anymore. It's
true.
I mean, Inzamam ul Haq is loved in India as much as he is in Pakistan, I reckon.
Exactly, and same with Baba, Baba Azam.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So look, get back to English Test match. I think there's an interesting change that England have to make with Anderson being injured and the young Quick is being given a baggy blue. So I'm forgetting his name. He's the younger brother of Overton, I think.
Jamie Overton.
Jamie Overton is the younger brother. So two brothers playing Test cricket for England. Another of example.
Exactly.
And he's been bowling quick. The reports from England are that he's been bowling quick. He's sharp enough for English conditions. So it'd be interesting to see how he debuts. Obviously, they want to preserve Jimmy Anderson as much as they can. Any nickel or injury, keep him away and play him in the India Test match. So,
how serious is Anderson's injury? What's the situation with his injury? What have you read?
I haven't read much into his injury. He had a niggle in his hamstring previously, but I'm not sure if it's the same injury or he's got a new one.
Interesting. And of course, Australia, the saga of Australia has continued. They've got Travis Head now with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, I tagged you on that one. So that's growing list of injury for Australia. It's kind of a little bit of worry because Test match starting, so obviously Travis Head might miss first test. Steve Smith's on the news. He was confident that he'll be fine for test matches. So look, Travis Head missed out. I think that's opportunity for someone to grab it. And I think if they score run in subcontinent, that could be it for Heads.
It's interesting because no one's talking about Usman Khawaja at all. I mean, I'm joking when I say this, but is he there? Because no one's mentioned him. He doesn't appear in any videos of training, nor is he in any press conferences.
He's posted on his social media account eating upma. I think it's one of the traditional Sri Lankan dish. I think he was eating that. So he's posted that. So he's well and truly.
What did you say, hopper?
I think there's
hoppers.
Yeah,
hoppers. It's straight. Upper and indie upper, they call it, which is egg hoppers and string hoppers and plain hoppers.
Yeah. That's right. That's the one. So
I know it. I think I've eaten more hoppers than most of Sri Lanka.
You probably would have. I actually enjoyed them on my first in Sri Lanka. It was fantastic, and I went it this time. So I had them.
I could have 10 egg hoppers for breakfast. It's not a problem.
Exactly.
Okay, so the Head's injured. Yes, he has a hamstring. Of course, Steve Smith has the quad, but we'll see how he goes. Jamie, over to the newsballers, lethal. Pragati, I would agree. And Nick Maddison is there also. Now, Nick Maddison, feels sorry for him because, as we know, he played for Australia and he had some really unfortunate matches where he was on the top of his game and didn't perform, and they got rid of him very quickly. Very quickly.
Same with New South Wales cricket. Because that one bad year that he had, he was delisted with New South Wales cricket as well. So, and also with Sixers. So he made a move to Melbourne without a contract. He was struggling. Obviously, once he got through those highs and lows, he was struggling. He took some time off from the game as well. I think the pressures of modern day cricket do get to the youngsters, and he took some time off. I remember talking to him at the presentation when he was leaving to Melbourne. He was struggling because he had no contract. He had basically going to play club cricket in Melbourne. So that's what he had. Nothing.
He's quite a down to earth character, and he's very approachable, very likable. I was at a cricket New South function like you, but this was way back, and I'm sitting there almost on my lonesome. He came up to me and engaged with me, and I thought it was just an amazing temperament. I like him a lot.
Like him, I've got plenty of time for him. Fantastic bloke. So I wish him well. Hopefully they slide him in. He's been in a red hot form in England as well. I mean, he hasn't had much runs apart from one innings in Australia A games. But who else would you bring in? Renshaw?
Well, Renshaw's another one that should have played continuously. He scored big hundreds, and I don't know what the problem was there. Really,
his record in subcontinent is good. Remember, he's in England. He had to go to.
Look, if I'll be honest with you, if I had the ability to choose a test lineup that I think should go forward for Australia, Warner still at the moment, yes. Okay, Khawaja without any doubt, but I'd have Renshaw, I'd have Nick Maddison, I'd have Jason Sanger, I would have even Curtis Patterson. They're the players that are worthy of being there, not Travis Head. I'm not convinced about his form at all. And I really don't think that he should be there. Maybe the short form, okay, all right, but not the long form. Well, quickly, what advantage to India is that England bowls will be tired being played. Well, there could be that. I wonder if Anderson has been kept back for that match. This is very clear to me. Malaysia is taking on Hong Kong in the semi-final. In fact, they're playing one goal in the way. So my good friend Winifred Jerusalem, who only messaged me literally, 10 minutes ago. She sent me little photos. There, you can't see it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's she calls me daddy. It's very cute. She's a lovely girl, and she's
also,
very happy.
Sri Lanka playing India in the ladies' match as well. I think it's a one-dayer.
Yeah,
it's a one.
Has it started already?
It is started. I think the India are 3 for 56.
Oh, seriously? Because Nalakshi's playing in that.
That's right. And doing the press conference I saw the other time, so she was very upbeat about the series. So
Well, they're going to have to be. They got beaten by bloody
Pakistan.
Pakistan pretty badly, actually, and all they really got smacked. So here we got. So after Punters took the early wickets, see that. I'm not sure this used to bob anyway. Shafali Verma, 31 balls. She didn't muck around.
No.
Then they got a few quick wickets there. Runner Singer, which would be or should he Runner Singer? There's again they'll use a lot of spinners in that side.
That's true. So if they get Core out, that's a big wicket. If you remember, she played for us in Thunder, and she did really well. She's a good player as well. I have got a lot of respect for her. But if they get her out, I think they're right in the mix of doing upset.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit early on to judge. They've scored what their run rate is. Current run rate of 5.89. That's not bad by any means.
No, the wicket is the issue.
So, okay, so I think chasing T20. Okay, so again, when I'm from Jerusalem, who I mentioned, then you got Baram. He's joined us.
Hi, Baram. How are you?
After the 100. I can hear all these noises outside. I don't know what it is. Why Marnus is struggling in ODIs. He is only at one special red ball. I don't think he should be playing short form cricket. I don't think so.
No.
Josh Philippe in Test. No, I think I think he's a way to go.
Year or so, I let him polish his trade with the red ball in both first class cricket.
Quickly see this. Wait a second. Hello.
Oh, good day, Norman.
Craig, I'm live on my Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick show, so you can join me a bit later, okay?
Oh, okay. So I just need to know the times for the July the 2nd.
11 a.m. July 2nd.
What's that, sorry?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long do you reckon it'll go for?
An hour.
An hour. Okay. All right. I've just got to tell my girlfriend because she's booked tickets, that's all.
Okay. Well, no worries. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Apologise for that. So, all right. So, what were you saying, Moses?
Yeah, I was just saying, Philip, he should continue to trial his red ball, polish his red ball cricket a little bit more. If you blood him now, I think he's not ready for Test. I think he's probably ready, or he should be around the people in white ball format, but not red ball yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh Inglis would go before Josh Philippe.
Yeah, Inglis probably will be pushing Alex Carey quite a lot with the keeping spot and batting.
Now, this is intriguing. The leadership ban on day one is set to be reviewed by Cricket Australia. I don't really care. I'm afraid if he captains, it's hypocrisy. I don't even think we should even go there, really.
I think they'll just. I don't think they will.
So Brian Morelli reckons he's going to be allowed. No, I don't think so. I think that would be
that he's allowed, but I don't think Australian selectors will go that way. It's going backwards. He's on the other side of 35. It's probably a bad.
No point.
No point exactly.
Yeah, that's me, Norman, mowing your lawn. That was not a lawn. It's middle of the night. I don't think it's you're mowing any lawn, Brian. Now, so yeah, England must be extremely buoyant. They're playing at Leeds, which, as far as I'm aware, is again another seaming wicket.
But the scores have been good in Leeds. If you look at the domestic scores from this season, Norman, they've been good. Teams have scored big runs. So it's funny this English season has been. Domestically, the teams have scored runs. But then in first Test match again, you saw how much ball did against the bat. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're a bit of early movement and England choose to bowl first. But it'd be interesting because Overton could be a handful with his pace, and if the conditions are seaming and swinging, England will miss Anderson.
So Williamson is back, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I guess, in some ways good for New Zealand. But New Zealand haven't played necessarily badly. It's just England have played well.
Yeah, and also like to see Wagner play. Look for.
I'm extremely happy about that. He's a man who's a fighter and comes out with
first Test as well instead of a spinner. But obviously they've made a call on going with the spinner instead of an extra pace. But that would have been handy for Wagner to play first Test match.
So let's have a look here. Baram says, from when did 8 p.m. become middle of the night? Or are you in Fiji now? No. 8 o'clock. It's dark in Australia. It's winter. What are you talking about? Anyone that tossed decided to bat first in the warm-up match. Okay, that's good. Is that's who are they playing the warm-ups? They're playing.
They would be playing or something.
One of the counties, I think, isn't it? So this is clever of England, India, because they're playing Leicester actually.
Yeah, and it's the best thing that we talked about previously, Norman. The tour games have gone out of the window because of the busy schedules, all of that. I think tour games have to come back. Yes. You go overseas, you play 1, 2, 4-day games, get used to the conditions, get used to the climate, and then play Test match, and that's the best thing because then the contest.
That's the way it should be. I mean, it's silly. It's okay. There's obviously other competitions encroaching on the time, but they need to be, especially the main tour of the season. They need to get their act together, and I'm very excited that India have realised this, and they've gone about this in the right way because they've only got one match. They've got no time to waste. They've got to get right into it straight away, and they kind of only do it.
Move. I like that. It's a perfect approach. There's no news about the toss as yet, but my feeling is team winning the toss could actually go with the ball first approach because Leeds in venue wise have done well with the seam and swing movement, but again, this season has been different.
Well, Kyle Jamieson is out as well.
He's out,
as is Anderson. So Neil Wagner and Patel are in contention. I think it'll be Wagner will go straight in. I don't think they're going to bring it. I mean, AJ Patel. What? I feel sorry for the bugger. He got
unfortunate. Yeah, in England, it's hard, and it's unfortunate. It's hard. If you're not really spinning the ball as big as the Indians or subcontinent guys do, you're going to struggle in English pitches to spin the ball. And a lot of spinners coming to Australia have struggled. If you remember, Murli always struggled in Australia.
He did.
Yeah. So
especially when you get no ball every delivery.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
That was. I mean, look, that Daryl Hare. I'm sorry, he was a bit brutal, honestly. He was brutal. All right. Okay. Do you think Riley Merritt plays the victim? No, I don't. Sorry, Riley Merritt. He might be fast, but he's got a long way to go before it becomes a
probably. Yeah. Order is probably not as high as the others at the moment.
No. So my predictions with Mosen about Australia versus Sri Lanka Test series, I'm saying 1-1. And if Sri Lanka have a barrage of spin bowls, especially on the Gaul deck, they're going to be very hard to beat.
Very hard to beat.
Although Australia's had a fair bit of experience now over the last few weeks on their pitches, and they're acclimatised, I would say, relatively well, they might do better. But I think Sri Lanka's going to make it very hard for them, and I think they'll win one and they'll lose one.
I was thinking, Norman, this tour game started just day before. A couple of guys should have actually got a hit. Should have got a hit in those tour games because they've been just playing in. They haven't really had a Sri Lankan bowling attack to face. So, they could be hit with a surprise. My opinion was they should have gone and, especially a couple of batters should have played in the A game, and they should have batted in the middle. Spend that time in the middle, which is valuable, rather than in nets.
So we are digressing, but the Australian team to play against Sri Lanka in the tests, obviously Usman Khawaja will open probably with Warner. Then they're going to stick with Labuschagne and Smith if he's fit. What are they going to do then? Are they going to chance without having Head there, which he probably would have come in next? Well, Cam Green's in the side as well, but who are they going to put in? Are they going to
go with two all-rounders? They can go with two all-rounders, and CUNY has bowled well. I think they will probably favour him as a sole spinner. Kuhnemann.
Yeah, for the test, do you really think so?
I think so. I think Swepson hasn't impressed as much because as I was talking to you the other day, he bowls too quick through the air. He doesn't bowl that subcontinent pace.
No.
Whereas Kuhnemann has bowled that subcontinent pace with success in 1 day. I have a sneaky feeling with both. With line, they could go with left arm spinner because that's that he's spinning the ball away from different angle, finger spinner. He could play a role, and they could go with two all rounders. They could go Mitch Marsh and Green as two all rounders to slide in instead of
not Glenn Maxwell.
No.
Is he at all? No. Okay.
I think so. I think they'll go with. My opinion, they will go with two pacer all rounders, so that can slide in. They'll play two quicks with Cummins, and if Stark is fit, then Cummins, Stark, Marsh, Green. That's your four pacers, and you got your two spinners.
Okay. All right. So
that's my
Stark Cummins will destroy Sri Lanka. I'm not going to disrespect your home ownership, but I don't think Stark's going to be that much of a force as we think he will be. Not on the Sri Lanka pitches, no.
They won't make pitches suiting to quick bowling anyway.
No.
There will be pitches.
And really, the Sri Lankan batters don't mind his pace if it's on their wickets. I think because it'll be at the right height for them to play through the line of the ball. So I don't think he'll have to. And I've been in Sri Lanka previously when there was an Australian tour, and we got smacked then. And I never forget the game. And actually, Kulshal Mendes scored a big century there at in Palakala, and it just impressed me. Sri Lankans know their home conditions; they really do. They are very.
Ball is a turning pitch. You would be surprised how much it turns on day one. So it's not dead pitch as what we saw in Pakistan, where it was flat and it didn't favour anything. But Sri Lankan pitch will turn.
Oh, that's a dust bowl. The Gaul pitches.
And
even the way the breeze comes through, it's just the holes, because it's got that one fortress at one end and allows breeze to come from both angles. It's non-stop. It's very hard to bat on those. At least Australians
during the day as well. So if you notice, sometimes your quicks will be bowling from one end, all of a sudden the wind direction changes, so then you have to keep switching ends as well. So you can't really get used to bowling at one end. So it's an interesting ground. I'll look forward to see Sri Lankan spinners in operation. They've done well in one day. You got to give them credit. They won the series after a long time.
Oh, gotcha. They're in mental strength form for sure.
Yep.
Just quickly, back to the England match. Jamie Overton has received his cap.
Fantastic. Who did present?
Presented by his twin brother Craig.
Oh, well done.
After England confirmed the Surrey Quickwood debut, Jack Leach has also reached what is just 25 caps. He got a 25 cap. What?
Why?
When does that come in? I've never heard of such rubbish. They're trying to say that Jack Leach is your last match mate. Here you go.
Thanks for participating in Test cricket.
At 25, okay. Look, let's just respect that for a minute. It is playing for England. It is a big deal, but still.
25 tests. What's that? 50 or 100? Yeah, but 25. Come on.
25 in anything doesn't exist. 25 wickets, 25 runs. A quarter of a century. Nobody does that. Oh, rubbish.
It is rubbish.
And then you've got. They say it's a gorgeous day weather-wise. They've obviously got the Cole Jamieson selection issue with Neil Wagner coming in, and James Anderson gave Jack Leach this 25 cap. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, for God's sake,
please.
What do they give? What do you get a cap every time?
Talk about this. I think it's not worth it. I don't think this is
not this day and age. Back in the 1930s when 25 caps probably took 25 years because of war and that. No, that's rubbish. That's complete. That's laughable. Sorry, 25 cap. I have never heard of that in any form of cricket.
No,
never.
No.
What is that?
It used to be 100 because it's a big thing. You play 100 test matches. And then they started bringing 50 test matches because there's too much cricket on them. They start 50. 25, please. I think that's just enough.
Well, are they going to go 12 and a half next time?
Well, exactly. And then 5 tests.
It's ridiculous. Sorry. I mean, even women's cricket, where they certainly play less matches, they've never done that.
They don't celebrate 25 tests.
No, it's just I'm sorry. It's taken me aback. What the hell's that about? What idiot thought that up?
Exactly.
Okay, so there's comments. Having won one out of the last 17 tests during the fag end of Joe Root. The fag end? It must have been the tail end or something. The fag? Sorry, they were now taking 3 in a row under the new Stokes, and so that's impressive. That is impressive. The reality is that Joe Root's captaincy, you can blame him, but he took it by the short and whatever. He did it himself.
Contributing factors, a lot of contributing factors in his captaincy, the coaching, authority, selectors. I think there's a lot of things that were contributing, not just only his decision making. So the backroom staff have been changed, fresh ideas. Rob Key's the fantastic change they've done with English cricket. He's a very he's a different thinker. He's out there. He thinks outside the box. So he's a good for English cricket. Bringing Baz is one of the examples, and then taking Aussie approach to one-day cricket. I think that he's done it well. So start is good, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, it's just intriguing. We're getting some comments here regarding Australia will beat Sri Lanka 1-0. There's a lot of interest about Australia Sri Lanka, to be honest. We're going to turn back to England versus New Zealand. There's still a lot in the series, even though they've already lost the series. New Zealand are very strong-minded with Neil Wagner's side, Williamson back. But is de Grandhomme back as well? I don't know whether de Grandhomme's back.
No? I think he did. No.
I like him. He, again, is a success-driven person. So, yeah, he's a bit like he's not Ben Stokes, but he's kind of in that mode, you would argue. All right, so Sebastian, I think you hate Aussies. Now, come on, let's cut this. Sri Lanka will win, I predict. Ron Colley, wait and watch. Don't say it's disastrous predictions. The truth is that I think it's fair to say that Sri Lanka will do a lot better than we expected.
True. They've
I can't see Australia winning 2-0. I really can't. But then in Pakistan, Australia pulled away at the end, despite Pakistan being all over like a rash most of the series. And look, Australia are geared towards Test cricket. They still, on any tour they go on, Test cricket is the most important.
That's the best Aussies. They play Test cricket with proper spirit and proper preparation. So I think that the approach that Australia will take will not be easy. Like in 1 day or 2020, they could be relaxed and give opportunity to some young blokes, on the and cost them a game or whatnot, but they don't care. But Test cricket, they take it really seriously, and I like that approach, and that's why I think it'd be hard for series. It won't be easy. Angie Matthews and guys like their red ball specialists will come back. So it'd be interesting. I like Sri Lanka to be competitive, at least. Even if they lose the series, I want them to be competitive. They should take the momentum from 1 day cricket into Test cricket from the winning. Obviously, you should. But I want Sri Lanka to be competitive at least.
Well, in comes Dinesh Chandimal, in comes Angela Matthews again, Tamuth Karunaratne, who's a very good bat. There's some solid form. Danajaya, who played in the short form, is also a good Test player. Naroshan Dickwell, I highly rank. So yeah, I mean, he had his. I was shocked. Naroshan Dickwell had his 29th birthday today, and I'm thinking 29.
Plenty.
But I mean, he to me is still 14. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Why is Anders not playing Sharad? He's got an injury to his what?
I think hamstring, but there's no update on his injury. I still think he's aggravated the hamstring that he's done before, but I could be wrong.
We're only about a minute away from the toss, it looks like. The toss is very, very close. Again, the last test was absolutely fantastic. The way that both Johnny Bairstow batted and obviously Ben Stokes and Root, and then even the opener Lees looked pretty solid too. He hasn't scored a big century yet. I don't think.
That Crowley is my worry. I like the guy. I like his technique. He is my worry. If he doesn't do well this match, and he might get India Test, but then that could be it. If he doesn't start to perform, I think he will be on the way out.
But then he scored 260 or whatever it was.
Look, he's been struggling the whole summer. He's been struggling.
Smith, Green, and Khawaja will play a big part in the test. I certainly think Green and Khawaja will. Something's preventing me from getting too excited about Smith. I don't know what it is. England come on.
He's still better. player in the Aussie Test team. So I think if he's got to have impact, he's got to have impact now.
Yeah. Okay. And we've got a situation where any women have fought out. Oh, a bit of a surprise. Most Anthony Wayne can Pakistan in the future win Test match in Australia. The
I
world
think
record.
their team for last year and a bit has been good, and I think they can. They've struggled in bouncy pitches, but they're preparing some bouncy pitches in Pakistan. I was recently there, and they're doing a lot of revamp work on their domestic pitches. So
Okay, just quickly, New Zealand have won the toss and are batting.
Oh, good. Okay, so it must look like a flat batting deck, because Leeds this season have been a good scoring venue. So good, brave move. I like it.
Well, they've lost the series, so I guess they've got nothing truly to lose.
No.
So let's hope that they do get their act together.
Mm.
I just think that Ben Stokes, having gone through the situation where he was out of cricket there for a while, he's just monumentally. He's come back.
Kohli should do. You know, someone was saying the other day on your show as well that how's Kohli going to come back? I think Kohli needs to take some time off from the game. Just totally take some time off. Ben Stokes took nearly a year off.
His father passed as well.
Father passed away. He was struggling to motivate himself to train and whatnot. He went back to New Zealand, and then he came to Australia to train for a little bit, and then he slowly got himself back in, mentally right, and now look, I think he's going to be good for the rest of his career. Sometimes the mental pressures do take a lot of toll on yourself, especially guys like the high performing Kohlis, the Smiths, the Williamsons and all. I think Kohli's been under the spotlight for a long time now. He's been under pressure. Captaincy been taken away from him, all three formats. He's been under pressure. I think he should take 6 months off from cricket away, to spend time with family and whatnot, and then come back fresh.
It's very interesting to say this. I do agree. The man has still got long-term capabilities. He's not old by any means, and we have to expect that he'll come back. We keep on waiting for it to come back. We should just not worry about it, because he will. He's too good a player not to. He's got, and as many people tell me, if his record stood now, honestly, he would be well ahead of most people anyway. So, and he's worth some staggering amount of money. Again, money's not his issue. So there's all sorts of things which are, he doesn't have to prove anymore. Virat Kohli's the father of cricket. I wouldn't say that. That's a bit. I don't think that's, not that I'm knocking Virat Kohli, but to say he's the father of cricket. The father of cricket is not like Gavaskar maybe, or someone of that nature.
Yeah. He's definitely currently up there with talent and whatnot, but under the spotlight for a long time, and the pressure do take its toll, especially the amount of cricket they play these days. So I think he should take some time off.
Yeah. Now, I'm just wanting to see the teams. We've basically heard. Hang on.
Even
Neil Wagner does come in alongside the returning Williamson, with Jamieson and Matt Henry, the men to miss out. Interesting.
I don't mind that move. Henry's been he didn't move the ball as much as the others did last Test match. I think Wagner is a really good move. Left hand, and he bowls that hard length that doesn't allow any width. So I like him. Jamieson is interesting. Because obviously injury, and Henry obviously because of bad form. So yeah, good 11 for New Zealand.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just trying to work out. Just trying to get some wording written down here. It's
nothing. So Latham, Young, Williamson, Conway, Nicholas. Daryl Mitchell, Blundell, Bracewell, Southey, Wagner, and Bolt. So pretty decent attack, with Bracewell can bowl as well. Daryl Mitchell can bowl some dibbly dobblers. So yeah,
He can certainly bat, that's for sure.
Certainly.
So Southie, Bolt, they're back to the triumvirate. Southie, Bolton, Wagner. Yeah, there's a fair bit there. And Williamson can bowl, as you said, and a little bit thin on, a little bit thin on
bowling, but I think they're backing their top three, and then two part timers can help them out. They've gone batting heavy, obviously with Jameson out, playing a kind of an all rounder role. So yeah,
it's interesting to come into a Test team as an all rounder. Is, I would argue, a big ask.
True.
Okay, all right. So go through it again. Latham, Young, Conway.
Yep.
Okay. Williamson 4. So who was 4 last match? And then Nichols. No, Conway was actually 4, wasn't he?
Yeah, because Williamson was out.
No, but who was the top order? They had Latham, Will Young, and then Conway at 4. Who did they have at 3? I'm trying to think. I'm just a bit confused. All right, so Nichols, but Darryl Mitchell, my God, what a revelation he is! What a Test match, and he lost the match. He scored 100.
Both of them.
Both of them, brilliant. So you can't discount New Zealand by any stretch of the imagination, but you again have to suggest that England's going to win.
Yeah, true.
Headingley Leeds is
I think they've gone bat heavy rather than ball heavy, and that's why he's chosen to bat. Which against the ground stats, if you look at ground stats, team bowled first because the ground has seamed and swung. But this season the scores have been on a high side at Leeds, so I don't mind the move of using the first use of the pitch. You know, there are a lot of commentators talking about being surprised why Williamson's chosen to bat, but I back him. He's got 8 batters in the team. He's got to score 350 plus.
But I'm waiting for the 30 to start. That's that 10 over thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Why?
I reckon Kunal Sharma's got something to do with that because he's. Did you see him? He had his Spartan back with Boris. What's the promise name? Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
He's up to something. I reckon Spartan's going to, now that his dad's passed, and he won't come back in Australia though. In any hurry, I'll tell you now because it's got a few issues to deal with it. Hello, sir. Hello, Ahmed Raza.
How are you?
Can you watch India warm-up match? Because yes, we can. Most of Pakistan chance the T20 World Cup. What do you think?
I think the bouncy pitches will suit Pakistan's style of batting. They're good square of the pitch, and the bowling attack is good. I think the guys have played T20 in Big Bash last year as well. So I think they've got a good chance, at least to the semi-finals in top 4.
Oh, for sure. But why have you suddenly jumped on this 30 games? You're being cheeky because I know you don't like that. You hate actually being sarcastic. You don't mean what you're saying. I know you don't mean what you're saying. It's rubbish. What game changer? What game are we changing here?
I
hate
talking about these kind of leagues and whatnot are not helping long-term cricket. It's just you can't. It's going to squeeze in, throw in big money, and it's going to stuff up their CPL as well because it's just before CPL. So,
Baramarani game changer. What is this game changer? I was still a bit miffed with your statement. Game changer, my foot. All right, let's.
Norman, I've got to attend mosque, so I'll probably leave you now.
Through the test series.
It'll be interesting to see how day 1 wraps up, and probably catch up before day 2 if you're still doing the program.
No worries.
Thanks for your. Talk soon.
Ciao.
Bye.
It's good having Moses on the show. Normally he's going to captain the Australian white ball team if Finch decides to try to after Debash Mahanti. I would have to say it'll probably go. Look, I'm going to be talking about a Bolty. I reckon Cam Green might come out of the blue and become captain. He'll get a Guernsey one. Oh, who knows? I don't think Warner's going to be captain if he's coming out of this discussion. Cricket Australia, no. Barama Rani's joined us. I can see that. He's got darkness there. I don't know where he is. What's this game changer rubbish?
You did it.
Barama, Rani?
Hi, Norman. Can you see me?
I can see you, yes. What's this game changer garbage?
No, just hearing the news of the 60, so I thought, why not have a 30 also? So, so it will be exciting.
Stop. Oh, rubbish. A lot of rubbish. We're talking about England versus New Zealand. Have you seen the sides? Have you seen the sides?
Where's Mohsen? He was there a while ago, right? Or just logged off.
Yeah, he just left when he heard you were coming. No,
Okay.
no, that's not true. I'm only joking.
I somewhat cannot hear you.
Can't you? We can hear you. We can hear
Hello.
you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear. So we can hear you loud and clear. So I'm just trying to. Can you hear me? No, he looks like we lost Baramis. Can you hear me? Standing up there. I don't know where he is. All right, so Jasper Bummer bowling to Rowan Sharma and Shubman Gill. Oh, there you go. What in a Leicestershire? Because it's Jasper Bummer playing for Leicestershire, is he? Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Ahmad Warner to score last minute. He's got. He did too. Marlon Slummage seems to struggle against Sri Lanka spinners and a real challenge waiting for him in the test. I agree. Totally agree. I think there's going to be a very interesting. Labuschane's going to be under a lot of testing. He's been rather charmed with his existence so far in Test cricket. Everything's gone his way. It's about time something doesn't to prove his worth. So Alex Lees, Zach Crawley, Ollie Pope, Rude Bairstow Stokes, pretty good batting on it, really. Ben Folkes, who batted very well too. Matthew Potts, Tony Overton with his debut. Jack Leach with his 25th cap, which is a lot of crap. Stuart Broad. So yeah, no Anderson, but Jamie Overton, the brother of the other Overton. So then you have New Zealand, Latham Young, Kane Wilson at 3 rather than 4, Conway 4, Mitchell 5, Nichols 6, 7, Blundell, Michael Bracewell, who played very well last match, Southey and Bolt, we know, and Wagner, a very important inclusion. I think that's a damn side better a team, to be honest with you, for New Zealand, that is. And it's interesting. We've got it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out over time in terms of the result. But yes, look, okay, Australia did play poorly. They've got some serious issues with a lot of their players and their positions. Their bowling, they haven't found a good spinner yet. I'm sorry. Nathan Lyon for Test, Sampa normally is the short form bowler, but Koeman, I don't think he's up to it at all. Sorry, and Agar's injured and not playing well. Stoinis and Head are both injured and not exactly fitting. Labuschagne's not in good form. Steve Smith can't even make the side, really, even though he's injured. Warner got 99, it's commendable, but Aaron Finch is not really consistent enough. And Sri Lanka will shut him up. So, yes, there you go. Philippe not in the squad. No, I don't think he's not there yet. He's just not there. Let's not get to it. Just Philippe is not as good as English, for one thing. Why isn't playing only 3 special bowls? It is a bit interesting. I'll have to be honest with you. I'm a little bit miffed with their selection there, but bringing in Wagner is a great plus for them. Indeed. So, the summary here. So, New Zealand have packed their batting with Michael Bracewell down at number 8. He is his old debut. Jamie Overton's going to be interesting to see his pace. Yeah, no, I think Phillips not there yet. I keep saying that I'm going to. I put Ben McDermott in front of him actually, even though media criticised ODIs because they did not take. Well, that's true. I'm afraid we do. We're not as whirlwinding about ODIs as we should be. So any women's 106 for 17. Well, we might see a bit of a shock there. Sri Lankan women tend to beat India, surprisingly, especially in Sri Lanka. I was there the last time they did play, and Sri Lanka won that match, and Shripali Rukoti did well at the end there with Kavisha. Ben McDermott is a great idea player, but better than Labuschagne. Yeah, I would agree. So that's interesting. So I'm just interested to follow that. So there's 6 for 106. That's pretty ordinary, really. Pretty ordinary. But then we haven't seen Sri Lanka bat yet, and that's always the concern. What's going on here? Indian women strong and live. Here we go. So 6-1. Dipti Sharma's come in very late. Jemima Rodriguez is on 23. Inoka Ranawera, who's a good spinner, has taken 3 for 30. They've got 17 overs. They're only still 6.23, so they've got 3 overs left and they get 120. They're going to make it a little bit difficult for Sri Lanka, but what's 20 overs? Well, it was 50 over. I'd be ecstatic. We'll wait and see. I'm not saying so. Lakshya De Silva's not bowling at all. They've got Prabhadhan, Kumari, Ranasinghe, Kanchana, not much good. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. All right. Maybe. Stephen's injured. Why he's not in there? He's injured. Still, I'm sure he's probably holding him back for the test. It's only the 5th ODI. So, no, he's not going to play. So, there you go. Any update on Jesse Ryder? Didn't he die? He was very ill. Maybe subsets for test cricket, they always quiz one. Yeah, that's fair enough. No, we do. I'm not going to deny that. 6 for 110. We've got not out. We've got Dipti Sharma and Jamal Rodriguez. Normally that's higher, actually. So that's interesting. David Graveney. Hello, David. You joined us, David? Are you there, David? I can see. You're on, David. I can see your computer. I can see your computer, not you. Just turn your screen around. Oops. Himanshu Rahela, you're here now. Who is the other person? Jesse Ryder's no update that I know of Jesse Ryder. You talk about Rajul Khansan. Jesse Ryder was a really good New Zealand batter. He was in the lineup for quite some time, and he was a great player. And I don't know what's happening. So we just had moments of Birama running, and we've had moments of David Graveney. Well, I'm in Brazil. The probably will announce after this match, I would say. Did you see English make his debut tomorrow? Could well do. Could well do. Could well do. Could well do. Okay. So how are we going here now? We're only some 13 minutes from the start of the match. It's going to be interesting. New Zealand have packed their batting lineup for sure. There's going to be quite an interesting batting lineup indeed. And I think that yes, England. So Brahma says he's got a problem with his network. Let's probably send David Graveney maybe the let's have a look whether we can get David Graveney back.
We'll wait for this ball first from Hyatt.
Okay. I'm just trying to find this where this what am I after? I'm trying to get this no, Trevor said please. He's overrated. I'm sorry. In my humble opinion. Okay. We need to find how I can get David Graveney to be on air here. Invite a guest. Here we go. Invite a guest to clipboard. Okay. Okay, so we've got to get him in an email. He was very, very close to getting on. Compose David Graveney. Hotmail. Paste. There we are. Let's see if he gets that email. So I've sent David Graveney an email. We'll see whether he can actually open it up. Okay. If Robbo is fit, then he must be thrown into playing against the Heat. Yeah, I've James Anderson, Robbo, as in Ollie Robinson. Is that what you meant to say? Head and warm? No. I think any can beat England if they baited well. And yeah, maybe. Yeah, Netherlands versus New Zealand. Why would you say that? All right, guys, we're getting close to the start of this match. It's about another 10 minutes away. we're talking about England versus New Zealand. England are 2-0 up in the series, and they're playing at Headingley Leeds. Of course, that's a very famous ground, Headingley. Headingley Leeds. It's in north or central northern England, and a very famous ground indeed. Obviously, the matches will really depend on the way in which the conditions favour the actual teams. In the case of England, England against India, it should favour England, but India, having played a few of those county matches, are in a better position. I think that Anderson, Robinson, Broad, and Overson, it's not a bad buying line. Which stays for Millwall drafts? I'm not sure. I think it's coming up the next few months. They haven't told us dates yet, which will be interesting. I wonder how many international players will actually get as an interest. That's what's going to interest me the most. I don't think it still will rank behind the IPL. We all know that. It is an attempt to zhuzh it up, but is it enough? I don't know. I don't think it is at all, to be honest. I'm sorry to say. We've got some 9 minutes before the game's starting. Bracewell batting low in the order. I think Jamie Overton will be interesting to see how Craig Overton, his brother, who was also a very good bowler. Some good strength there. England will have to find a place for Harry Brook. David Gravely will be talking about that if he was on air now. Williamson's back is probably a positive, even though I do think Latham did a pretty good job in his absence. I think the player that they do miss is actually de Grandhomme. And if they had him on the side, they might do away with one of the batters. No, Sebastian, you can't say that. It's Test cricket. It's always interesting. Teams no longer have that concern about Test cricket being a dead rubber. They count to World Test Championships, even though England aren't going that well. Matt Kuhneman's better than perhaps he is. Perhaps he is. David Graveney is trying very hard to get some time up here. He's trying very hard. I've got some 8 minutes before the game starts. David, can you hear me, David?
Yeah.
We can't see you, David, but it just persists. We'll eventually get to see you. I'm hearing you. So have you seen the side? England have lost Anderson. They put Jamie Overton to have his debut. They've also got New Zealand have got problems with their side with Carl Jamieson out, Neil Wagner in. Oops, I got another day. Okay, that's better. I moved that one from stream, and there we go. There we go. Are you there? We've got you. Can you hear me, David? You've got 2 going on at the moment. Oops. David? David? Having some technical problems here. Only 6 minutes before the game starts. David Gravity is around. He's not quite connected. Only 6 minutes. Yes. And no, they can't, but it's still a test match. Test cricket is the ultimate, I agree. There's a big question, and England top order Leeds will be testing as the formidable Indian pace attack. Yes, he will. India beat Australia. Australia's back to back. Yeah, well, we've got to judge by what we're seeing here. St. Brendan of McCallum has been speaking to New Zealand radio overnight, by the way, and here's what he had to say about England's new approach. Let's call it bringing sexy back. Okay. David, are you there? Can't believe your feelings. What do you mean, my feelings? David, I'll remove you and let you come back on, okay? David, you there? We've got David Graveney in some form with some 5 minutes to go before the match. hangs on when it's weak teams. Well, that's fair enough. Has Crawley impressed for I think he's still up there, Sahaj. And then one more T20 matches than West Indies, but West Indies won two. Yeah, I still think India's better. All right. Let's just see if there's any broadcast time here. We'll see if there's any broadcast showing. Let's have a look on Foxtel. Foxtel got David. Do you want to cut out and come back in? I'm not hearing a word you're saying. Under 19 state of origin. Let's test pre. Here we go. We've got answers are going crazy here. So New Zealand will bat first, which people call it like international cricket. Well, BBL needs it's a long way to go before it's truly international. Except Sam Hislop should play at 4 in Australia ODI side. Well, I don't know about that. Normally, that record matters in ODIs World Cups. It does. All matches are going to matter from now on for a good reason. You want it to be something worth watching. Blundell, Conway, there's Bracewell, there's Darryl Mitchell, who's in sensational form. Like David, are you there, David? Dave, are you there? David's trying his level best to get in. He can't. Not much luck. Okay. There's that's Nichols, young Latham, yeah, good old Travis Bolt, Trent Bolt. Here we go. We've got England's national anthem. We've got Ben Stokes, Pope. That looks like an Overton. Potts, Leach, Crawley, Root, Bairstow. Who was that? Is that Lees? It could be Lees. Australia won more IDF matches than India. Okay. Michael says, why not play ODI? I don't know. I don't know why Australia not pick Meredith. I don't think he's that good. Sorry. And then Michael said, why are you not playing? Well, he's a test player, and he's simply not got the form level. England are there. Ben Stokes looks very polished. Big teams at the moment using bowlers for series. Yeah, it's fair enough. Well, we haven't got David Graven. I'm disappointed because I really wanted to have him there. David, are you there? We're not hearing a word you're saying. I'm going to remove you from the stream for the moment. And wait till he comes back. So, the English team are in the field. Hard to get into the line when Richo, Cummins, Maswell. Yeah, I agree. So, what Australia win more ODI matches than? Well, that's not okay. Again, Crawley, Lees, Pope, Root, Bairstow, Stokes, Folkes, Overton, Potts, Broad, and Leach. For New Zealand's Latham, Young, Williamson, Conway, Nichols, Mitchell, great form. Blundell in great form. Michael Bracewell didn't bowl badly at all. And, of course, Southey, Wagner, Bolt, the triumvirate of great players. I'm going to try Tim David, any chance to show? Not the near future, but maybe the long-term future, perhaps. Here we go. Headingley at Leeds, and there's Englishmen holding arm in arm around each other there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Yes, that looks like Overton with his brother Craig. Now we've got Latham coming out to bat. He's a pretty damn good player, let's be honest. I don't know with Latham, captain New Zealand only the last match. Williamson back now. He's reverted back to, I guess, vice captain. Will Young, now he's got a lot of potential. Hasn't quite showed it yet. But it has got. He's played very well in the county cricket in England, so certainly worthy of being it. So India finished at 6 for 138 in their T20 versus Sri Lanka and in Sri Lanka. It's almost 7 and over. David Gravity has joined us again. You there, David? There's 2 David Gravities. This is
There
there you go, David.
Oh.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your picture keeps going on.
Well, you're watching with us. The New Zealander and gone into bat. Tom Latham there facing. He scored 4,500 runs. You've got he is batting with it's good old Headingley at Leeds, a great ground. What's your thoughts about the teams?
So, who?
Broad. Jamie Overton got his debut. He's going to be bowling with Broad. I think opening up. Broad's about to bowl the first over. So it's just Stuart Broad's bowling the first over. What, Dave? I can't hear you, David.
No, I'm not saying.
What's going on here? Someone's running onto the field? Someone's running onto the field. What's going on here? Someone's run onto the field and put something in the middle of the field and has run off. What was that? God. Did you see that, though? David, why don't you disconnect both of your connections and go back to one?
Well, do that. Let me
Yeah, the connection's not good, David.
resolve that. So,
You got two connections, David. You got two connections. It was very wide. It was well taken by Ben Folkes. Well taken by Ben Folkes. Wait for David to come back on. Wait until he's in some sort of form. Quislin's 300s and 220 in England. There you go. Quislin's a great player. Sure, Broad. Ball goes way that leg side, but a magnificent keep. Oh, what a great take from Ben Folkes. Very old-fashioned looking gloves. New Zealand have yet to put a run on the board. They're none for none on their first over. All Australians also, yeah, I think you're probably right. David. I'm adding it to the stream. Oh, we've lost David, so maybe he'll reconnect again. Broad to play. Finally, Latham gets some bat on the ball there. We've had Mosen shake. We've had, obviously, Barama only for a split second. And then David Gray, when he's trying his level best to get on. There's been a few obvious issues with the ability to get on. We'll get some power to this here as well. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here. We're going to be running out of steam very soon. Where's the other one? There is it. There we are. I'm not thinking to use Jamie Overton on the first over. They probably should. There we are. All right, we're back in business. Oh, he's out, is he? Broad's taken a wicket in the first over of the match. He's taken Latham on the fifth ball. Pretty damn good start. See you, Sabash. Tom Latham out for a duck. So look there, it's Broad's bowling. Outside off something, the scramble saying he's edged it. It's gone to first slip and it's gone straight down. It looks like Roots taken it very easily. Gone is the right word. First over. Latham out for a big duck on his Last ball, the first over. Well, that's not a bad start. Here at Headingley at Leeds. Is this Kane Williamson coming in or Conway? We'll wait and see. TMS live link above. Nanda Kishore Kurupal. What's that? You got a live link to this game? So here we go. Last week at Latham faced a full over, nicked it to first. A good solid catch. Latham board must be very happy. Kane Williamson is in already. There you go. Matthew Potts is going to open the bowling, so Overton's been held back a little bit. Matthew Potts is barely three tests into his career, and he's taken 10 wickets though. Very happy with himself, for sure. And of course, Will Young will face the first ball. He stood at the other end while he watched Latham play the full first over. So here we go. Will Young, 12 matches, 544 runs, average of 30, 650s, no centuries, best of 89 versus Indian Kanpur. He is a person who's played very well on the county circuit of England, so he does know this circuit very well. He probably knows Headingley particularly well as well. So let's see how he goes against Potts. Potts bowls a particularly good first ball. Joe, best opener Test cricket. Joe Root. He's not normally open. Ball beautiful there. Got the edge. Straight down Root. Straight. In fact, it was quite a bit of the face of the bat, as a matter of fact. Root's very happy. I mean, let's be honest, this is, in fact, Headingley. It does have a fair bit in favour of bowl. This is not funny, Rowan. You've talked about Pakistan about 50 times. Get off them a bit, would you please? It's just... They may have lost Australia, but they've done very well overall, and they're going to be a side to reckon with, don't you worry, in World Cups and what have you from now on. Their World Test Championship chances are there too. David Gravity's back. Young's got the mark with the second ball. David, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Norman. Can you hear me?
Oh, wonderful. We can hear you too. Nice. Thanks for joining.
Good. No, sorry about that. Firstly, many condolences regarding your mum.
Thank you, David.
Difficult time.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a very raw time. It's something that I would never want anyone to experience. And my mother was very close to me, and she lived an incredibly good, long life. But it's come to an end, and I'm now trying to piece together cremation services. And very happy. She's going to be cremated at Waverley Cemetery, which is right on the sea in Sydney. And you have Victor Trump up the road. You've got Pat Cummins bought a house on the great road that leads to the cemetery, very cricket-oriented as well. And a number of the ladies who have been buried near my mother, their name, would you believe, is Edith, which is my mother's name. So it's very appropriate. It's a very good. It's a very lovely place to be left. I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm looking forward to that. And some great people are coming to it.
I had a very full, lengthy. My mum died when I was 19 years old, so she never got to see me play cricket or anything like that, or married, or grandchildren. So I know that you've spent a lot of time with your mother in her last lap, which is great. But anyway, heart goes out to you, Norman. There's not lots, as long as you know, lots of people on your side, and
thank you, David.
hoping that days get a bit easier as they pass, which I can assure you they do. But,
well, having you on the show tonight is a great start for sure. And we're now watching. In fact, you may have seen that Latham got out first over there to Broad. Did you see that?
no, I didn't see it. How did he get out?
Got caught at first slip by Root off Broad. So New Zealand are 1 for 2 now. Williamson's in with Young. And Jamie Overton, who you may know, obviously he's the twin brother of Craig Overton, gets his test.
I know the family very well, Norman. So they were put on. I watched them play at North Devon Cricket Club, is where David Shepherd, the umpire, used to play, and also Chris Rogers used to play.
Right.
For the Australian opener. So it's a really odd ground. Well, it's not an odd ground. It's a beautiful ground. It is right on the edge of the sea, so elevated. So you're sitting on a bench and you can watch the cricket one way and turn around and everybody's sunbathing on the beach behind you. But they do
that's North Devon Cricket Club, is it?
Yeah, North Devon Cricket Club. Big club in Devon. So I've known the two lads. There's always been a bit of a debate about which one would play for England first. And I'm not trying to be wise after the event. I always thought that Craig Overton would be the person who would probably make his debut first. Jamie's had some injury issues. They as a family, they're big units, whether it's mother, father, sons, but they're a delightful family. And I'm sure mum and dad are as chuffed as anything that they brought up 2 sons who both play for England.
Quite incredible, actually. I mean, of course, we had James Pattinson and David Pattinson do the same, but that's they did it for different countries. But that's amazing. It's a pity that we don't see them both playing in the same match.
Can't have everything in life, Norman.
No, that's true. That's true. Although Craig did give his brother the debut cap before the match.
Yeah, good.
But can I ask
England cricket's actually in I want to say a good place, Norman. You would expect them to beat New Zealand, to beat Holland. But I think this is a bit of a sign of things to come, of having 2 separate squads.
Yes.
Because that one-day squad was really strong. Obviously, there's a couple of people who would come in, it would go from the test squad to the one-day squad. I, for instance, don't think, as far as I can glean, is that Ben Stokes will play any one-day cricket for the summer.
Right.
I think they'll try and keep him, or just manage his injuries. Bairstow, if you put Bairstow in that batting lineup as well, Jesus, they're a strong team.
I know, and they get with the likes of Matthew Mott in the chair as coach for the short form and obviously the long form. McCullum is quite a dynamic duo, and you've got Rob Keys at the helm, and we've got Ben Stokes there. It's quite a formidable force.
Well,
I'm very impressed.
The last time I was on, Norman, you won't die wondering with this lot because they will be teeing off everywhere, which is great. It's and hopefully during this match, the discussions will be about the cricket and not other issues that have dominated the press for quite some time. So
I agree. It's just a wonderful feeling, and Headingley's a classic ground, isn't it? It's got a lot of character about it as well. I do like it.
It is. I never really volunteered to want to play there, but it's quite an interesting ground to bowl at because of the slope. There is a tendency to want to bowl too short, and actually pitching it up is actually the right way to go.
Right. So New Zealand have brought Neil Wagner back in place of Matt Henry, and Kyle Jamieson's also out, which allowed more batting strength for the New Zealand side. So interesting dynamic. We just saw a take by Ben Stokes behind the stumps. He is sensational. So old-fashioned. He's keeping it so effective.
He's well, I've always been a great fan of Ben's, I must admit. So I was bemused when he got runs in Sri Lanka and got 100, and then he never played for a while. But they've got so many people who can bat and keep wicket, then it becomes a little bit more of a conundrum than other people would. When you've got Butler, when you've got Bairstow. But I think the modern consensus and this is I would have to say, a skill which I know very little about, Norman. I only judge the wicketkeepers that I played with on how many chances they accepted or dropped. But I think there's a little bit more to it than that. So.
It's a gorgeous day. It's crystal blue skies.
What's the right side? Who won the? I assume New Zealand won the toss today.
New Zealand won the toss and elected to bat.
Well, that's the right thing to do, Headingley.
Yeah.
Blue skies, you bat.
Yes, but they've lost that early wicket. But that's not necessarily the end of the world. They can get on from there.
Well, sadly for them, they're getting quite used to having their top order sort of penetrated to a degree.
Yeah.
And a shame, because Latham is he's played a lot in the UK actually for Durham and other counties, and he's done really well. So he'll be a bit disappointed for that, but it's just good to see Kane Williamson back in the team and captain the team.
He's just hit a ball through the point region for 4 just now. He looks like he's hitting the ball well.
You and I have spoken about this. I think he's not quite on his game. I think he's been playing with an injury for a while now that I think does affect your technique after a bit. But unfortunately, if we're just straying away from this Test match, but to talk about Australia versus Sri Lanka, there've been some exciting one-day series in the subcontinent with surprising results.
Amazing results! Quite phenomenal, actually. Sri Lanka have done a number on Australia, not just with one match, but now 3. They won the last of the T20s, and ever since then, the momentum's been their way. They've been virtually unstoppable. It's been quite incredible.
Well, they've got the under-19 captain playing for them.
Yes.
Walaga, I think his name. And they've got, on their own surface, if they can get enough runs, they certainly have a spin attack that can cause people a lot of problems.
Oh, gotcha. Absolutely.
That seems to be what's happening with the Australians.
Well, they were talking about the fact that 43 overs of that ODI were bowled by spin. And that's, I think, almost a record. But I think it's a clever record. To me, why don't they embrace what they're best at? And there's nothing wrong with that. Bowl the whole 50 over spin if they have to. It doesn't matter.
First under-19 game that I ever saw abroad was in Sri Lanka at the ground that at Murali played at.
Pisara Oval.
Yeah.
No. You mean up in Kandy?
No. In the one with the ivy on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's Pisara Oval.
Yeah.
Tamil Union Ground. Yeah.
Tamil Union Ground.
Yeah.
And England played Sri Lanka it was in a zone game, so it wasn't a knockout. And they just bowled 50 overs of spin. Different types of spin, off spin, leg spin, left arm spin, different paces, and they all bowled really, really well. So
I thought you talk about under 19s. I've got a story, David. Back in 2010, we played against a bunch of kids. Rumesh Ratnaik was organising the match, and we beat them. And I said, Rumesh, can you get a better side for us, please? He said, you want a better side, Norman? Okay. So we went and played at Pisara Oval, and it was it was the team that I was involved with then, a bunch of old guys. We played against another young kids team, and I've gone, oh no. So I went into the dressing room of the opposition as captain of my team, and I said, nice to meet you. And they said that their first words were not hello, how are you? They shook my hand and said, we're going to kill you. And I've gone, oh my God. I walked out a bit dumbfounded, and they walked out. They didn't even let us toss. They walked out to bat. And we said, hang on, we're going to toss. And we tossed anyway. They still won the toss. They went out to bat. They scored in 40 overs. There were 400. I was keeping. I did not touch the ball because every ball was smacked to some boundary. And I found out during the match that the team we were playing against was actually the under-19 Sri Lankan side. from 2010. It was embarrassing. Then we went out to bat. I batted up the order. I got hit by an under-19 fast bowler. He broke my thumb, and I had to go off. We were 3 for 19, and then it poured for the rest of the afternoon. So the game was officially a draw. So we didn't lose to them, even though they were smacking us, but we officially drew the match, and it was hilarious. We had always bragged during the rest of our tour, the under-19 couldn't beat us, and it was just funny. Rumours Ratniker's a cheeky bugger. He went and got this team to play against us for fun. It was quite an amusing moment, I must say. Anyway, that's.
I played
Sorry?
Gloucester tour. We went on a pre-season tour. This is mid-80s, and the side that made its debut Test match cricket and played at Lords for the first time. Forgive me not knowing the guy who got 200 opening the batting for Sri Lanka.
Trying to think. 80s.
Wetamini
Was it
or
Roshan Muhammad? No.
No. Is it
Vetamuni? Vetamuni. Yeah, Vetamuni. Yeah.
Right. So that side then went to India and got defeated. So they came back and then were starting to rebuild their team. So their team in Sri Lankan terms was right. We'll have Ravinder captain the team. Ravinder will play as a batsman. And he played. Vass played, and this is against a county team. And it ended up with a ball match at the main ground. All our players got injured because and that loss, De Silva, Ranatunga, Tilakaratne, every over from one end apart from one for the whole day. So I was absolutely. They couldn't actually. I had to hold the ball in my fingertips, otherwise they made it absolutely soaking. So it was.
Isn't it hot? Oh my God! Don't you sweat to buggery? Oh my God!
No, we had a drinks break every half an hour, and Jack Russell was keeping wickets, and he was like a scarecrow because he just got his gloves out of the way, and they just poured a barrel of water straight over his head. So it was a fantastic experience because when we came back to the UK, we battle hard and played against some really players that at that stage were unknown, but you could tell were going to be international players. And we did really well. We nearly won the championship. So
amazing. We've got some questions here. Someone's asking, Rizal Hassan asked about Jesse Ryder, who played for New Zealand. He's still 37. Obviously, he's past it. Now, he had a heart attack, did he? Or something happened to him. He was quite ill, wasn't he?
He was ill, but that was after a series of brawls in bars, if I remember rightly. He had quite an interesting disciplinary record. But they've got a few, like... the guy who's now playing for Gloucestershire, Phillips, he plays a bit like Jesse Ryder. He just see ball.
Devil may care.
So they've got some players. I think this will be hopefully for them just England. I know the results were England wins, but they ebbed and flowed those two games. I'm not saying that they could have been reversed, but it's a bit. Sometimes it was a bit difficult to explain in England-Australian games. At certain times of the 5 days, both sides were equal. Then, at the critical moment, Australia just pulled away, and it tended to be when Shane Warne was at his, became more and more affected because of the wicket. That was the deciding point to a degree. So you're going to be on every day, Norman? Because
yes, I certainly will be. I certainly will be.
11:30, unfortunately. So what's Chris up to? Is he playing?
Chris is in Edinburgh at the moment. He's playing on some beautiful old school ground with a picturesque background. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I posted it. It was quite a beautiful ground. Lovely castle in the background with lovely lawns, and he's enjoying himself no end. He wanted to come on, but that was very impressive where he's playing. He loves these tours, does the old Chris Vernon. He loves going.
Well, it's good. It's
He loves it.
That's actually using your MCC membership to full advantage. You know that
Oh gosh,
you get to play on different grounds, and he needs to get out touring because that was one of the functions of the MCC is to take the game to areas that who are new or developing their game is a really good project to be involved in. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the SCG 11, albeit not the MCC in stature just yet, you know, is certainly making waves in the same direction, actually. So that's very good. And we'll see how that develops for sure.
Yeah.
But I'll be there next year. Of course, Mother's passed, so I'm sad about that. But it's allowed us an element of freedom next year, so I'll be able to travel.
You know,
without
it's
so
always a bad time, but in time, and your mum would want that to happen, Norman, that you should get out and see your friends in England.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it big time. I'll be there. I'll spend enough of the next. I mean, I may still do things now. I've got to do a bit of settling with services and what have you here, but other than that, I'll be certainly making my way next year all over the place. So I'll be very happy about that. All right, so there's mention also about Andrew McDonald making his team more fearless. What obviously McCullum's doing. Yeah, David, you've been asked why there's no Joe Burns. Well, Joe Burns is not in any form anymore, and he's been superseded by many other players. That's why he's not playing.
Yeah, and also, correct me if I'm wrong. When he's being used in the one-day squad for Queensland, he bats in the middle order now rather than in the batting.
That's right. That's right. He's been reinventing himself, and Matt Renshaw has returned to some form, and he's playing for Australia A at the moment in Sri Lanka, and he may get a Guernsey somewhere along the series. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's I think a debatable point. It might be with your listeners. I think that we've signed Harris at Gloucestershire to play.
Sorry.
Do you think that actually playing first team cricket anywhere in the world is better than playing an A tour, particularly if the A tour players have already played Test cricket? Now, Harris has played a number of Test matches
and scored very few runs, unfortunately.
But I don't understand. You know, if the A tour was going to be used for blokes who've never been played in the international arena, it just seems a bit of an odd thing to do, really. So.
I totally agree, and unless they're trying to make out that Australia A team is potentially some of the players may jump into the Test side, that's another thing. But Marcus Harris is on the outer, in my opinion. You've got Travis Head is now injured. Looks like he's injured for the 5th ODI and potentially the first Test. So we may see a change in the Australian team.
Right. Now that what's he injured with?
A hamstring.
Oh, is it? Right. That happens over there because you sweat so much, as you know.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right. No, we're going to go on this other call, and we will speak over the next couple of days. But,
thank you, David. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. And thank you for your comments as well.
Bye.
Thank you, David. Well, that was great to have David there. Having David has always been a wonderful thing. I just got a phone call from Gino. A friend of mine they called Gino. I'll just see what he's got to say.
Who you know?
Well, England. So far, I've got New Zealand going along just steadily. Some comments. Australia best teams to 2007. Okay. David Graney, he would agree with you. Why not just Joe Burns has just gone? Okay. Australia should not try a new team. That Pragati Rahela, I think Bryant, maybe not. Phillip, not yet. McDermott, certainly. Cam Green, certainly. Okay. 90s cricket is real cricket. Well, cricket's real any old time, guys. I have no qualms about that being said at all. So there you go. So far we've had amazing Mosen Sheikh from Pakistan background in Australia. Then we had Baram Irani. He's actually based in the Philippines, moving to Indonesia of Indian extraction. David Graveney, the lauded over former chairman of selectors in England. So we've got quite a variety of people, haven't we? It's quite a buoyant show. I love all that, guys. We've been going for about 1.5 hours here, and so far New Zealand are basically they're plodding along okay after losing their first wicket. I don't know why they're reviewing Dave Warner's captaincy. I don't know, unless they're thinking he's the next Ben Stokes or whatever. I don't think that's a good move, to be honest with you. I don't think it's fraught with problems, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Old as gold, Stark as old as gold. Okay, that's fair enough. What do you think about that whole saga with? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure at all. What have we got here? Let's just see if there's any. India playing England, that would be a big game. I'd love to be able to go. I'd love to be able to go. I can't. I don't know whether I can make it though, unfortunately. Australia versus Pakistan last 5 Okay, Roland, we've been making that point quite a bit lately, and it's enough on that. We know that Pakistan haven't won that much against Australia. That's fine. That doesn't mean they're out of contention of anything at all. So there's a lot to be said there. So when is this test match? Who can tell me when this test match is actually happening? So Ravi Chandra Ashwin is back with the squad when he plays in England. That's interesting. So some big news there. Don 007's making comments all over the place. Let's get this channel going. All right. So who can tell me when, like England doing, Australia should go with new players now? I tend to agree, Himanshu. I'd say it's time. It certainly is time. Let's see some of these scores. One for 18. Williamson steadying the ship somewhat. What's happening with the women's cricket? Unfortunately, there's probably too many runs for, let's see, India versus 1 for 27. Aria Adapatu and Harshita Madhavi is in there. Scorecard, who's she batting with? Vishmi Gunaratna at fifth ball. And Kavish has gone in at 4 and Lakshya at 5. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Vishmi Gunaratna opening with Chamari Atapatu and Harshita Madhavi and then Kavish Dalari at 3 and 4. Okay. It seems like they're certainly making some pretty bold changes on the side. They've got Lakshya at 5. So what are they going? 1 for 27 after 6 overs. It's current run is 4.2. They're going to pick it up. I'm afraid they're going to pick it up quite quickly. Ranaka Singh, Dipti Sharma, and Radha Yadav for the bowlers so far. So there we go. Still early days. All right. So what's the series here? England versus New Zealand. We've got 1 for 18 after 7 overs. Fairly steady, dogged stuff, but still pretty handy. All right. So we've had already 3 sets of guests on the show. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy indeed. We've got the last Aaron Finch for there. He's already at 1.3 thousand. There we go. La-di-da. Only 1 or 2 threads doesn't mean the team is bad. They play Birmingham, Cam Green, head and North Ham. Tim David, maybe Philippe, not Josh Inglis. You keep forgetting Josh English. Josh English is the go. Josh English. I'm telling you now, he's the one that got more going. So there's 2.1. $63. Oh, we've only got 249. That's pretty good. So Haz, they need to now. I agree with that. Add to playlists. India versus New Zealand, just not there. Well, let's go with this. Hang on. All right. So remember me, Normie. I'm back. Anuj Ingle. Of course, I'm back. You're back after your exams. Well, it's nice to see that, Anuj Ingle. You were here for a long time. Sahaj, we know too. All people hate Josh. No, it's not about hating Josh Phillip. I'm telling you now, Josh Phillip's not what you hate. Josh English is just ready to go first. Just give him time. Give him time. All people hate, but he had liked him. Okay, well, there you go. We'll wait and see. We'll just wait and see there, guys. Just have to wait and see. We'll request time down again. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm back to business. Back in business now. I've gone through the roof here with some of the reports. We've got 254 watching that. It's good. It's pretty damn good all round. Platypus shoes. Okay. What is the score of Australia match? Let me have a look. I'm not sure offhand, guys. What's this Australia A match? What is going on there? This England test is a bit sluggish. Williamson's on 9. Will Young's on 10. 1 for 19 is the score. Sri Lanka A, Australia A. So India, well, that's 2 for 27. In fact, that's wrong. We've just seen Patu get out rather cheaply. Kot Gaikwad bowled Yadav for 16. 2 for 27. Are they not going to win this match? I'm afraid. Sri Lanka A versus. Yeah, let's have a look there. In the Sri Lanka A versus Australia match, Sri Lanka were 9 for 330 declared, then 9 for 285 declared. And Australia 254. So a lot of declarations going on there. And England is. Why is Rowett gone? What do you mean Rowett's gone? Oh, Falafels. So, yeah, I mean, that's very nice. That's why I just mentioned the score sheet. You should know this going. When Finch Warner's retirement. They say that Warner's trying to get captaincy back, so obviously he's not going anywhere. But Alan Mullally.
Hello, how are you? I'm watching King
Good,
Kong.
Alan. We've had Mohsen Sheikh from Pakistan living in Australia. We've had Baramarani, he's based in where is he based? In the Philippines, but he's going to Indonesia. Then we had David Graveney for a period from England. Now we're back to Perth with Alan. How are you?
Good afternoon, good evening, and hello, good morning.
So England are in England. New Zealand won the toss and they're batting. New Zealand are 1 for 19. They've lost Latham for a duck.
Oh Lord, hang on, let me try and find what's going on. Oh, been watching King Kong.
We will have Pretty, Apana, Debashis, Chris on England tour. Yeah, England, we probably will have them back.
Oh God!
So yeah, this is the third test at Headingley, Leeds, which you must know that ground well.
I could tell you a few stories.
Was that your home ground?
Nope.
What was your home ground again?
Leicester, and then the
Leicester.
Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl. That Rose Bowl's down at Southampton, though.
Yes, the Aegeus Bowl it was called then.
Aegeus Bowl, yeah. Well, it's called Rose Bowl too. Got a Shane Warne stand there, isn't it?
Hang on, yep. There you go. Got it under control.
All right.
Third test, that one. Anyway, how are you, Norman?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad at all. Spider, Alan. But now,
can we get one thing straight?
What?
As you're a very good friend of mine, it's Spider, not Alan.
But I don't associate you with the name Spider. Why are you called Spider?
Because I've got long arms and long legs.
Yeah, but you got blonde hair.
That's
normally dark.
That's a story for another time.
Okay.
We'll get the back. Mum, say hi to Norman.
Hi, Norman. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thank you very much. Not too bad.
I prefer doing this on the old mobile phone than I do on the iPad. Well, here we go. More rain, by the way, Norman.
In Perth.
And the forecast was no rain for about 2 weeks.
They got that wrong. They got that wrong.
Here we go. Do, thunderstorms and lightning. Oh, Lord.
Very, very frightening. Galileo.
Galileo. Yes.
Be better sing
Queen.
because they'll start claiming that it's some bloody rights to the stupid thing.
Galileo, Figaro.
Oh. I'm just a poor boy who nobody loves me.
And by the way, don't get me started, Norman. That's
yes.
what I'm watching, because I've spent the best part of a long time today tuning my guitar with my Vox amplifier, apparently, which you can use on stage.
Okay. Arno Jingle, he used to be on last year. He was on the show a year ago, and he's back.
Who?
It's good. Very, very frightening indeed. Galileo Figaro. I'm just a
That was 3 songs rolled into one.
Yes, it was. All right. I've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, by the way. Where have you been?
Huh?
I've been going for an hour and 40 minutes already.
Where have I been? Well, I was watching King Kong.
Did you say Nat King Cole?
No, King Kong, the movie.
King Kong the movie. All right.
Now I'm having a coffee.
All right, let's just get back to this match and see what the score is, shall we? What do you got here?
Anyway, just quickly, Norman, you need to come to Perth, and the first words out of your mouth when you meet my mum is fish pie.
What?
Fish pie. Mum?
Fish pie.
Let's just change tack for 2 seconds. Mum?
Jamie Overton's about to make his debut for England. His brother Craig Overton played previously. His twin brother, Jamie Overton, is about to bowl his first delivery for England. How about that? You watching?
No, I'm at the break now with you. You have my undivided attention.
So Jamie Overton just bowled his first delivery in Test cricket. His twin brother Craig obviously has already done that. He got his new cap from his brother.
That's brilliant. You know what? I watched on Fox.
He's from the North Devon Cricket Club.
Where?
The North Devon Cricket Club.
Oh my Lord! Well, they don't play much cricket down there, so fair play to him. Well done.
Well,
more importantly, it's a lovely part of the world. Devonshire teas, Norman.
Of course.
Mum, what are they? You get the most fantastic scones, jam, and clotted cream.
Oh, you make it. Hang on, Anna Jingles saying, what's wrong with Shaw? Prithee Shaw, nothing. Good player.
Do what?
Prithee Shaw is a player. All right, so look, we've got Anna Jingle, he's been away for a while. He's putting a lot of comments there. England are going to play India the next test at Lords, I believe it is. No, it's not Lords, it's somewhere else. But they're playing that, and after this match, actually, I think it's the first week of July. That'll be interesting. Himanshu Rahela wants to give us his test side. Warner, Khawaja, Smith, Marnus, Green, Marsh, Alex Carey, Cummings, Stark Lane. It's pretty close, although I'd say there'll be another spinner, and I don't think there'll be Quinlan. So.
Hey, Norman, I know we have a big Indian base, right? Can somebody please either email you or me at alanlady@hotmail.com the most magnificent tikka masala recipe?
Chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, tikka masala or a korma, lamb korma, or a boona, BHUNA.
A boona?
Yeah, lamb boona.
Lamb boona. Okay.
Yeah, just change the tack, that's all.
So I'm just watching this Jamie Overton. He's bowling quite short and a bit erratically. He's been already hit for a few. He's bowling 140 Ks though. He's bowling with a fair bit of clip.
140. Yeah.
Well, James Anderson's injured. He's got what may well be a hamstring or something like that. So he's a bit out of touch.
Jimmy. I know there's loads of money. Jimmy, just give it up, buddy. Give it up. Go. Retire gracefully.
But you didn't play with him in Test cricket, did you?
No.
He started
And
after.
you know, I don't care what anybody says. Darren Gough was a better bowler.
You've said that before, actually, haven't you? Why? Why was Gough a better pot? What's your reasoning behind that? What's the reasoning behind saying that?
He was quicker. He swung it both ways. He reversed. Yeah, everything Jimmy has, Goughy did 10 miles an hour faster.
Interesting.
Difference is he has to play county cricket.
Right.
If you do your research, it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, the girl that I managed.
Jimmy plays for Lancashire and goes, I'll have a little 2 or 3 overs. I feel good. First class match. I feel quite good. Then you're going to put the feet up. Goughy was bowling 40 overs. Try that and you go play against Pakistan. You can't do it.
So the girl that I manage, who talks to me every day, who wished my mother, who met my mother and was very sad about it. Nilakshi De Silva has just gone into bat for the Sri Lankan women's team against India at the moment. They're playing at a ground in Dambulla, which is in central Sri Lanka.
I've been there. Dambulla.
Have you?
Oh, God. I think I played in the first game there that they had ever.
Really? In Dambulla?
Yeah.
When they opened up the ground?
It's out in the countryside of Sri Lanka. It was hot and it was flat.
Yeah, it was certainly bloody. It's always bloody hot there, that's for sure.
I tell you what, I did, and I batted with Graham Thorpe and he got against Royal Lutheran. He goes out, it's easy. Just bounce off stuff, watch the ball, and whack it. I'm like, excuse me, are you crazy? And I got our LB, hit me on the thigh. That was rigged. Really, hit me on the thigh. I'm 6'5". It was never out. You're out. Go have a nice shower.
So this women's team at 3, they're not going very well here. England versus New Zealand, what's going on there? Was 1 for 29. Will Young and Williamson doing okay. So who are we talking about? Matthew. Himanshu Rahela loves bringing up all these Australian players. Matthew Gilks, who's playing for New South Wales, Max Bryant, and Josh Phillip. They're young, but they're potential players, yes, for Australia, but not yet. Still a bit of time before they can make the side.
You know what I'm waiting on, Norman?
What?
I'm waiting on a really, I keep saying really, a really fast bowler. A Michael Holding, a Wes McGrath, an Alan Donald, a Brett Lee, an Alan Lay, 95 mile an hour.
That's fast.
I got clocked at 94 mile an hour against Brian Lara in Durham, Chester Street.
Chester Street, oh yeah, I know that guy.
He went, that was it. Can you do it, Norman?
What?
I'm there, so
No, I can't. I was never a fast bowler.
Ryan,
I never claimed to be a fast bowler.
Ryan, pick his bat up.
No, I was never a fast bowler, but I could bowl a good little wobbly ball that tends to be slow in his droop. So it's to wobble and then go boom, and people would try to hit me out of the ground and they wouldn't get it because they would droop way before they expected it to. Wouldn't get to them on the speed they would like it to, and they'd often get caught.
Lack of pace, that's what I call it.
The Harry Gone Walker strike. So we're talking about this. There's different matches happening all the time here. We've got India in a provincial match against I'm not sure who they're playing exactly, but they're there. Using a stories like Godzilla in front of all the sheepy openers in there currently. What are you talking about, Ingol? What are you talking about? Gaikwad, Prithi Shaw,
Norman, can I say something?
What?
I'm trying my best to talk. I know you're going through with your late mother, etc. God bless you. I'm trying my best to talk Mum into skydiving. You need to work harder because Mum's not having it. Skydiving.
If I went skydiving, the plane would fall because I'd be my parachute. My parachute would get stuck on the back of the plane. The plane would come down with me.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm trying to convince myself. It's either that or shark diving, cage diving.
Well, that's a bit. Ironically, it's probably safer.
Mum.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Need them.
Here, Norman, say hi to Mum. Mum, join the crew and talk about cricket. And skydiving. Are you there, Mum?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about. I'm not going skydiving in any hurry. I mean, it's not something that I'm not in the mood to be doing skydiving. I can assure you.
Bungee,
I'm not going skydiving. Not a hope in hell.
No,
bungee jumping in Thailand.
If I wanted
Yeah,
to get rid of my constipation, I'll do it on the land. Thank you. Not up there.
Oh Lord.
It is probably one good way of getting rid of constipation. I'm pretty sure. All right. So we're trying to watch a game between England and New Zealand at the moment. But as is typical, Alan's led me astray. I'm not watching it at all now. I'm not sure what's going on here. What are we watching? We've got media conferences. We've got all sorts of things happening. Have you watched my channel? Honestly, has your son got you to watch my channel?
No, send me the link. I don't live on my phone or the internet, as you know.
No one tells you. No one's telling you to live on anything, but you can occasionally watch it, can't you? Seriously.
I suppose I can down here.
So you're watching. Are you both watching the cricket or not? New Zealand
where
have
I
won
take
for
my
30
bedroom.
against England. Will Young's on 16, Cam Willis on 14.
I think we're crap. That's why I don't watch it, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, I've been on air for 1 hour and 51 minutes, and I'm starting to lose my sense of concentration, I guess is the right word.
No, Norman. Your sense of sanity.
Your mother didn't say anything. Your mother was supposed to say something. She didn't say anything.
Mum, say something.
Well, I'm not saying anything about.
Okay, I tell you what, Norman. Here we're going to do something different. Okay.
No.
It's always different with me. Are you there, Mum?
Yeah.
Can you say?
Okay, Norman. 5 questions to ask Mum.
Who was the best bowler in your family? Was it your son or was it a long lost cousin or something?
No, nobody else played, so Alan was definitely.
Right. Was he a
Mum, this
pain?
is fun. Norman, for everyone who's watching and listening, I want 5 questions sent in to my mum.
Okay.
Nothing to do with cricket. 5 questions.
Well, one question was, what do you think of Will Bukowski? It's not really a question you might be able. Will Bukowski plays for Victoria. He was kind of in the Australian makeup.
Never heard of him.
Okay. No one's sending any questions in. Hang on. Any update? Okay. He gets knocked over, but if he stays, okay. Yeah, no, they're still talking about Will Bukowski. He's got lots of concussion. Maxie Bryant. Questions are all about players. They're not about anything that can easily be answered.
Yeah, I want questions to do with nothing with cricket. To my mum. Personal questions. What is the recipe for fish pie?
Do you like biryani?
Biryani.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's an Indian
that's
rice.
nice.
Yes.
Where are you living?
Pardon?
Where do you live? They're asking.
Perth. Near the beach.
But you're not in England, though.
No. WA.
Been here for about 400 years. Can Mum swim? No.
No, they're saying, what's this? They keep talking about Will Bukowski. They're not talking about anything else at the moment. For some reason. Will Bukowski is a young 83.
Yeah. Why is my mum's favourite dish?
Russell's asking, when did I travel to New Zealand last? Well, when did you travel to New Zealand? Have you been to New Zealand?
Yep, 97. Beautiful. My cousin lives in Wellington. Wellington, the Windy City. My cousin lives there.
Right.
We won that test match as well.
They're not asking that many questions at the moment, unfortunately. All right, that's 4 questions. The 5th question is Alan a pain in the butt to live with?
Yes.
Excuse me.
I thought that was wrong.
What's the matter?
No, he's great.
Who's your
My God, I'll put something on telly, and he'll turn over to watch Freddie Mercury.
Mama just killed a
They're
man.
saying you look very innocent.
Put a gun to
That's
his
not
head.
me.
Pull the trigger, now he's dead.
Of course I am. I'm
Yeah.
old-fashioned.
The Bastard Mahadi's asking is Finch at the moment struggling. He is. That's a cricketer. Okay. All right. That's your 5 questions have been up.
Mum's going to recite a Bob Marley song called "Is This Love" in a London accent.
Oh, rubbish.
I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love
No.
you every day and every night.
I'm 83, as you know. I'm feeling great. I've had my vaccinations and I have had no comeback whatsoever. I haven't had COVID. Don't want it. But I'm fully vaccinated.
What's that got to do with the price of eggs?
I'm just telling them.
We've run out of eggs here, by the way.
Yeah, what's wrong? We got local farms here.
The chickens aren't
The
doing their
shops
job.
haven't got any eggs. Have they gone on strike or something?
So it says here, Alan is exactly like his mum. Of course, I am innocent. Okay. Norman
I'll take
Richardson.
after my dad. My dad's Irish.
All right.
I can't give you the Irish accent if you want. The Irish accent if you want it. Oh, Jesus.
All right, guys. We're gonna finish. Alan's exactly again. It's talking about your mum saying you like your mum.
Yep.
No, I'm going to put up with that. I'm going to. Look, Mum thinks I speak quite posh, like you do, right? You think I speak quite posh. I speak properly, like Australian, like Australia. But I'm going to pull out some Cockney where I come from, South End. All right, mate. All right. Ask me a question. Get your guest to ask me a question, and I'll speak in an accent where I was born.
They've stopped asking questions about. They're asking about cricket now.
Yeah, ask me a quick question. No drama.
Finch's retirement is better. There are many other talented openers to put his place. Is that true?
Oh God, yeah. I'd love to bowl to him. In swinging Yorker. Thank you very much. Too big a backlift. It's too fat.
Yeah. All right, guys. I've been on air for 1 hour and 57 minutes. For his mum, very emotional. Alan, there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do love my mum. I've dropped everything to look after the old girl.
All right, guys. We're going to finish on that
There you
note.
go. There's something, Norman, for every Indian who's listening and watching and viewing. When you say good night to your mum, go, all right, old girl. I'll see you in the morning. I love you. Good night.
Unfortunately, I can't say that to my mother anymore. She's gone.
Yeah, I know.
All right, guys.
But we're going to go skydiving, Norman.
Well, let's wait. We'll see. We'll do other things. All right. Thanks.
No worries.
Thanks.
Take care.
See you guys.
Ciao, ciao. Jumping into a cage with a shark, you're off your rocker.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Ciao, ciao. We'll talk to each other later.
Yeah, see you later.
Ciao, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. All right, I'll see you later. Okay.
Ciao, buddy.
Ciao. Okay, guys, we've now been able to have a situation where I can finish the show and I'll talk to you again soon. Alan and like there, so we'll take care and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. As New Zealand are now currently, well, in the women's game, they're 6-138. India and Sri Lanka are 3 for 46 in the game, which I just talked about. England, New Zealand. New Zealand have lost their second wicket. Looks like Will Young has been bowled by Leeds for 20. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, take care. Let's see what happens in that one. Let's just quickly. I just want to quickly see the wicket, but the Leeds just got out to. Let's have a look here. Trying to. My prediction Australia Sri Lankan Test Series, I think 1-1. I'm just trying to get a hold of this damn. The wicket of Leeds. I'm trying to find. So Young was out for 20. Okay, so New Zealand won for 35 at one stage. They lost their second wicket just now. Let's have a look. Jack Leach coming in the bowl, and he was. Pajar would be. Yeah, it is Ahmed Raza. I'll agree with that. Let's just see Jack Leach. Compare Kohli, prove he can. Come on, let's see a bowl. Jack Leach coming in on after only 12 overs. There we go. All right, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.